here. J.R. Shepherd dives down to the inside, trying to see if he's able to get a little bit of that tack that Brandon Proudfoot has been getting up at the front of the field 10 laps ago here at Port Royal.
Yeah, definitely not making a huge ground here on Brian. Brian's able to maintain that gap.
It's big Justin Morton back into second with J.R. Shepherd somehow taking over the lead. I have no idea.
These guys, you see Scott kind of using up all that momentum. Going to enter the corner wide. I expected him to kind of cut back low. See lap car down on the inside. George overshoots the corner. Scott puts that car just where he needs to on the middle. It's going to be a drag race through the kink. Thomas George gets loose. Scott Eckridge has the opportunity to come home with a win right now. Side-by-side drag race.
Oh, wow.
Scott Eckridge, 5/1000ths of a second.
Streaming cyberspace into your place, sponsored by Gargamel's Kitchen from Southern National Motorsports Park. It's the Virtual Grip Network's Round 8 coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Series, Season 21. Happy International Sword Swallowers Day, everyone, as we celebrate both the medical and scientific contributions of sword swallowers around the globe. A man with a double-edged sword, dull when he misses events, sharp when he shows up, is Justin Morton. Salty has won 4 of the 5 races he entered and is on a 2-race win streak for the second time this season. Like a hot knife through butter, newcomer Aiden Young was able to slice his way through the grid to get second in an impressive debut performance. And a man at the pointy end of the blade when it comes to points is J.R. Shepherd. His perfection in qualifying, coupled with consistent finishes that includes a win, has the multi-time champion well ahead in the points. So pull the lever on the lazy boy and let whatever you prefer to swallow, be it a snack, drink, or a sword, add to the enjoyment of watching the simulated short track action coming your way. A warm Tar Heelian hello and welcome on this Saturday night, February 25th, 2023. John Hine joins yours truly, Bill Soups, on high up in the VGN broadcast booth to bring you our Word's Eye View. We play Ryan Seneker, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders. 40 miles, 100 laps is the scheduled distance for the main event, but before then is the 4-lap qualifying session that inverts the grid and awards the ever-important bonus points. John, as mentioned earlier, it is indeed International Sword Swallowers Day. Anything about the track tonight that drivers might find hard to swallow?
Well, I definitely think so. We've got a large field here tonight, so on starts and restarts, they are going to all pile into turn 1. Things are going to get about as tight as crescent rolls in a tin can. There's my soupism for the day.
I like that one. Wait, I got to take a minute. Let me jot that one down. I'll use that one in the broadcast you're not on. Hey, one can only imagine that a sword down the gullet is not very convenient, but there is no denying the convenience of Gargamel's Kitchen, a high-quality food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. Now, some of you told VGN you could not find their office because you went to 2045 North Valencia Street. Remember, their address is 2045 South Valencia Street, or call Gargamel's Kitchen at 720-707-6178, and they'll talk you in like Robert Stack in Airplane. Now let's do a flyover of the point standings. You know, with the debut of Tyler Shattuck and Aiden Young at Stafford, the total number of drivers who've raced at least once this season climbs to a healthy 33. The question attached to J.R. Shepherd is not whether he'll win the championship, but rather if he'll go 11 for 11 in qualifying. With Matthew Thunhorse skipping Stafford, both Michael Goodman and Lowell Jewell move up a spot. Sadly, the boss's top 10 streak came to an end as Lowell could only muster up a 13th last time out. On the heels of his fourth win, Justin Morton climbed 6 rungs on the ladder. A 20th of Stafford drops Donnie Moore a position. Now, be it the result of his racecraft or just bad luck, Joe Segala leads the series in incidence points. Sorry about that, Joe. An 8th from Ribeye Joe Snyder got my booth mate the over-under win last time out. Kurt Smith continues his assault up the points mountain. And a 4th last time moves Matt Hoos up 3 spots to round out the top 10, which is a great segue into the Soup of the Day spotlighted over-under driver for Southern National Motorsports Park, as it is indeed Matt Hoos in his monkey butt paste Chevy Monte Carlo. Now, John, here's the results so far. This is kind of interesting. New Smyrna, really good, 4th out of 26. Myrtle Beach was a no-show. USA, really bad, 21st out of 23. Martinsville, horrible, 20th out of 22. North Wilkesboro, not so bad, 6th out of 13th. Another bad result at Nashville, 17th out of 21st. And then Stafford, really good, 4th out of 22. The stat boys say that Matt Hoos's over and under will be 9.5. John, bet the under if you think he'll finish 9th or better. Bet the over if you think he'll finish 10th or worse. What say you?
Man, it's been feast or famine for Matt here this season, and you know what? I'm going to say tonight's going to be a feast night. This is a fun track. He's going to have opportunities to pass. It's just going to be a matter of keeping out of trouble. So I'm going to say, Matt, the Hoos is going to be loose tonight, and he's going to go below the number.
All right, so another under. It's always good to be positive. Well, we got out of the business out of the way. Now we can turn our attention to the business on the track, and that is the 4-lap qualifying session. You got to be perfect to post a time. We got a pretty large field here tonight, 24, so you don't want to miss out on qualifying tonight, because if you really blow it, you're going to be starting well back. Tyler Shattuck, the newcomer, sitting at the top right now, but there's still lots to come, John.
Yeah, there is, and things happen fast here too. So these guys, the points can get jumbled up in a big hurry here because it's this many cars. We were used to hearing the big one at Talladega or Daytona, and the big one can happen here just as quickly. So watch for turn 2, watch for turn 4. I think those are going to be the trouble spots.
Got to give a tip of the hat to the number 70 of Ruben Altice. He's sitting 3rd right now. There's still some big names yet to come, but nevertheless, good run from Altice. He'll be starting somewhere near the front.
Yeah, he sure will. And Belke is here. I don't think Austin's been here in a while. Matt, look at that. Hoos is currently P5, and granted, I do look down here and I see some of your some guys have not qualified yet, but Matt's still going to get a good starting spot here. So things are looking good for him to come in the under.
J.R. Shepard out on the track. We look at him right now. You talked about Matt, then there's the other Matt. Welcome back, Matthew Thunhorst. He missed a race last time out. I've been told that he missed his girlfriend Jacqueline, her little sister, had a wedding, so he was involved in that. It was a lovely affair, except for the orange bridesmaids' gowns and a wedding cake that resembled a famous Italian tower. Nevertheless, good to have Matt back with us. I don't think he'll be qualifying as he continues his charge from the back strategy.
His strategy's worked. I think every time we've
Indeed.
seen him do it, he's ended up somewhere up in the top 5. So he knows how to get it done from the back, and I don't expect any different here tonight.
You can see the break there in Todd listed in 15th to the drivers that have yet to put into time. The number 898 Shepard is in there as well. Bruce Pearson, Jason Menden, the 45, always impressive. He had a good run last time, but he had an end-of-line penalty that moved the 45 to the back. And just before the end of qualifying, he makes it 8 for 8. And that, of course, I'm talking about J.R. Shepard. But what you got to look at are the newcomers, John, and we'll talk about them in a minute a little more. Tyler Shattuck and Aiden Young, 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, they are definitely making their presence felt here as newcomers. And I tell you, next season, they keep this up, they're going to go into next season as being one of the favorites to, challenge for a championship.
Okay, my list of drivers who can be interviewed includes Matt Hoos, so maybe as practice is going on, and when we get to start practice, maybe we can drive Matt in here and see how he feels about it. He did qualify inside the top 10, so if I can do the inversion, let's see, I count back from 10. That's 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th. He'll be starting in 7th position. That'll be on the inside of row 4. Do we have Matt? Matt, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well done, buddy. You got yourself a nice qualifying run. You started inside of row 4.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, I left a little bit on the table. The anti-monkey butt car has a lot more in it. I just got loose and screwed up one of my laps, so I think my chances are pretty good here tonight.
How'd you do in the SK Modified right before this? You get a good feel for the place?
The SK is a hard car to get a feel for because it drives so much different than this car. There's so much tire, and but unfortunately I got caught up in some stuff in that one, and that one didn't end well. But street stock was good though earlier.
Oh, okay, well that's good. Well, maybe you can get a little knowledge from one of the earlier races. Good luck. We'll keep an eye on you. It's a 9.5 for you, so you need to be 9th or better to get John a win tonight. Okay.
All right, we'll try it.
All right, Matt Hoos. Our 4th fastest qualifier, John. You got to be happy with that if you were Matt Hoos.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, and I'm happy for him, and that's because I think it's going to put me in a good spot to continue the winning streak I've been on that one there. So good luck to Matt here tonight. And, I tell you, those guys that are, qualified, I'm thinking of Thunhorst, and those guys are going to be a little bit further back that did not put a qualifying time in. So I think that's going to be a little more difficult for some of those guys to move forward here tonight. And traffic is going to be a lot heavier than what these guys, I think, are really accustomed to be honest with you.
Yeah, now I don't want to wish something into reality here, but I got to worry a little bit about the 037 of Tyler Shattuck. He's the newcomer. We saw him race last time, and, well, patience maybe not his strong suit.
Well, if he hasn't run races that are like this where you can't take tires, you got to make your tires last, all that kind of good stuff, it'll be a learning process for him. And, we'll know a couple, 2-3 races in if he's starting to adjust his driving style or, adjust his patience levels and all that kind of good stuff. That's the one thing about this. These are not sprints. These are more of marathons here, and you got to pace yourself.
Certainly not scared to put a nose in there and try to get that position. He'll be starting inside of J.R. Shepard. Now, usually if a man running for a championship had an unknown sitting inside of him, it might be a little bit of a worry, but Shepard has such a large cushion that basically he could get kidnapped by crazed carnival folk and still probably be able to come home with the championship.
Yeah, and what that'll allow JR to do is be patient. Just be really, really patient. Not force an issue early. Just kind of let things shake out and then, go to work from there.
Okay, qualifying is over. It'll give us an opportunity to run through this field that has 24 drivers in it. Well, it's the number 6 of Kurt Smith's going to be starting on the inside of roll 1. And a driver that we don't get to see a lot up front, but he's really fast. Keep an eye on him in the 55. It's going to be Stefan Spies.
Starting in the second row will be Adam Shane, and next to him is going to be our over-under driver. That is Matt Hoos.
Austin Belke really hasn't quite shown what he can do in these late model cars so far, sitting in the 5th position. He's going to be inside of the man who sits second in the points, Michael Goodman.
And starting in 7th here will be Ruben Ortiz and his number 70 machine, and one of the newcomers, that's going to be Aiden Young, starting 8th.
The man you got to watch out for, the 037 of Tyler Shattuck. He's going to be in 9th, inside of multi-time champion J.R. Shepard.
And we got Segala. That's Joe Segala, Rockford owned Joe Segala there, and starting 11th, Joseph Snyder. He'll be starting 12th.
Really good qualifying position for the Chief, Steve Hilbert. He starts in the Baker's Dozen position, inside of the boss man, Lowell Jewell.
And here's a really big surprise because he put a tough qualifying time in, must have had some trouble, but that is Justin Morton all the way back, starting 15th. Next to him will be the number 87 of the last of the qualified cars. That's going to be Todd Liston.
Jacqueline's boyfriend, Matthew Hurst, is 17th with Jason Menda outside of him.
Matt Shinowski and Donnie Moore will occupy 19th and 20th.
Jeffrey Harden and Bruce Pearson go blackjack and double duck spot.
And rounding out your field tonight is going to be Mike Allen. Next to him will be Kevin Nunn.
Kurt Smith is in charge of the field. He is making a climb up the points ladder, as I talked about, been getting hotter and hotter as the season progresses. Chug-a-lug, makes you want to holler, hi-ho, we go green. And this is indeed Kurt Smith getting the lead. Speeds tucks in behind. The number 79 drops in there in third position. That's Adam Shane. Side by side, that's Belke inside of the 21 and going around. Who was that? Was that Hoos? No, who?
That was Shane.
It was Shane.
Adam Shane, and got a little help, I think, probably from the 24 there of Austin Belke.
That brings out the yellow, and we'll have time to take several looks at that one, and not to Austin Belke's pleasure.
Yeah, he definitely got into the back of him there.
Let's see if we can make any excuse for Belke here. It was on corner exit. I'm trying, Austin, but that was not good.
No, it wasn't. Austin probably would want that again, and sometimes you just misjudge. I mean, it's a mistake. That's exactly what it is.
Well, a couple drivers that have picked up a pair of positions, Mike Goodman and Ruben Altice. Again, great run from Ruben Altice. We'll keep an eye on the 70 car. He's been coming on strong of late. Everybody else up that one position, which is basically thanks to the attrition that happened to Adam Shane.
Yeah, and Austin's gonna benefit, doubly for that, because now he's got one less car in front of him, and he gets to keep the spot, and so he's gonna have another shot at this here, and hopefully the misjudgments are behind him now.
Indeed. Well, the lights are still on the pace car. Give me time to maybe talk about something that happens here on Fridays. Join us on VGN Friday night, 7:10 Eastern for it's the endangered species that is dirt track racing here on VGN. That's right. Catch the Bootleg Racing League's Dirt Street Stock Series before it goes extinct. It's always a fun night, hosted by Dow Jones Clark, Austin Belke, and my tongue-tied partner here, John Hine.
And last night, if you guys, that is up on YouTube. Last night's street stock race on the dirt was probably one of the best dirt races I've ever seen in my life on iRacing. But real quick, Austin Belke, in a show of sportsmanship, went through the pits, so he's going to the back.
All right, we're going racing now again. Kurt Smith in control, working lap number 7. He tucks in there. Oh, watch out for our over-under specialist, Matt Hoos. He gets to the inside. He is really the anti-monkey butt paste special Monte Carlo SS is making a run for the lead. That was fun to say.
My goodness. That's like a full-board colonel in the military having so many different titles. But and these guys are real. Oh, and we went around up in turn 3. It's Todd Liston, or turn 4.
It was the 22, I think. Was it Liston indeed? I believe it was the 10 of Steve Hilbert maybe got turned around. Was that the one that caught right out the yellow?
No, it was Liston a little bit further back. Liston broke loose right in the center of 3 and 4 and overcorrected. Then Matt Shadowski got into him, and then it looks like Donnie and Steven. I think Steven was trying to kind of maybe lift a little bit, and that's what I'm gonna say happened with Donnie and the sergeant there. I think probably some lifting went on, and when another one didn't quite lift quite as much. And Altice has got turned around too.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, and then I found a third one that involved the chief as Hilbert. Here's Steve Hilbert. These are 3 that happened almost simultaneously.
Yeah, very weird. Altice lost it after the caution was out, and nobody around him. Lost it on his own in 1 and 2, and then, like we said, 3 different incidents. I told you things happen fast here. They didn't have to prove it this way.
Tough break for the number 10 of Steve Hilbert, who had a great qualifying run up there, put it in 13th. He's now, because of his time here on VGN, he's a celebrity at the local watering hole, the granary. He goes down there, and people are buying him drinks, and they're saying, come on, Steve, let's see if you can get a top 10. Don't know if it's going to happen tonight. And we talked about the problems with J.R. Shepard, John, but I guess he had to do a little repairs, huh?
Yeah, when Altice went around, JR plowed into him pretty good. But you mentioned, though, he didn't have to agonize over this because with that cushion, he can come take his fast repair. He can afford to have it. Heck, he could take a night off at this point. So it will be fun to see what JR can do from the back.
Okay, we look up front as the car getting the wave around is indeed Ruben Altice. Too bad he was having a nice run. Okay, still in control, Kurt Smith. This time he's got our over-under spotlighted driver, Matt Hoos, to the outside. Watch out for the car in third. That is the Steven Spieth. He's really good. We go green. Boy, a little hell. Aiden Young was really trying to get Hoos to get going. The sixth thing, we're looking on the blue and white car on the outside now, side by side with the car of Spies on the inside. Up front, it is indeed Smith and Hoos comfortably 1 and 2. Look at Young work that car around the outside and control third position.
Yeah, these guys are struggling for grip. I am seeing a lot of cars get the back ends of them kind of dancing around, loose going into the corners and through the center. These guys got their hands full right now.
It's rookie night on the top side here as another driver working the outside. Tyler Shattuck making that thing work. He is side by side with the 28 of Michael Goodman. Now the rookie gets loose. He gets really squiggly. He loses it to Goodman, and now here comes the freight train. Includes Lowell Jewell and Salty Morton.
Yeah, don't look now, but Lowell, where did he start? He started like 14th. What is he now, up to 6th, 7th?
Up 8 spots indeed, and following him right through the field is Justin Morton, the 52 and the 9 on the hunt.
And Segala, Mike Allen and Segala there I think brought this one out.
You know, we talked about Segala and his proclivity to pick up incident points.
Yeah,
this is not going to help here.
No, he kind of shoved the nose a little bit, and it shoved right out into the quarter panel of Mike Allen there, and that's kind of what caused that.
Allen just having a nice run, minding his own business, and then gets turned. Well, I watched the SK Modified event, and it was chock full of yellow. We might be seeing another one of those right now.
Yeah, this is a fast track. But I wanted to, like I said, just reiterate one more time, Wool up to P6. I guess he's out to prove the new what is he, 85 is the new 20?
Indeed. Well, talk about new. Really can't go much farther without talking about this new guy, Aiden Young. We saw him very impressive in his series debut last week as he picked up a 2nd place. Well, John, he is up 6 spots. He did a lot of it on the outside, and now he has worked his way up into 2nd. He's going to be starting outside of Kurt Smith. Smith's going to have his hands full. Matt Hoos is going to try to capitalize to see if he can get the spot back that Young took away from him.
Yeah, but the one thing is, the restarts that we've seen, that guy on the outside has not fared well. They've lost positions about every restart we're able to get going here. So that 3rd place car, Matt, probably already knows this and is going to probably try to get his nose in there and keep Aiden pinned on the outside.
Pace car pulls in, and we will go green for the 4th time. A great jump from Kurt Smith. And just what John said, look at Young having trouble on the outside getting going. But now he's got it. Now let's see if he can roll the momentum off of there. And he's got Hoos pinned to the inside. Look at the 69. I've seen him make the outside work before. He begins to lose a little ground to the 2nd driver in 2nd place. That is Hoos. But he continues to fight back. He is not going to surrender Casper. They are Cialis bathtubs. Out of 2, heading down into 3. It is romantic racing between Hoos and Young. Young making the outside line work, and he leads across the line that time for 2nd place, John.
Kurt Smith didn't know which lane to block. Block Hoos or block Aiden, and this is unbelievable to watch as Aiden is running that outside. He's like he's running dirt, and he's up on the cushion.
A little bit of tap from Hoos, but they continue to be side by side. Again, Kurt Smith trying to make his car as wide as a Julia Roberts smile right now as they're coming low and they're coming high. Look at the kid. Great running up on top. John, what you've told me is it can't be good for Hoos to have to be stuck down low all this time, right?
No, because he's not able to swing out, and he's really using that right front tire to keep that car down, especially on corner exit. If Aiden can stay out there, it's going to pay off for him over the long run. Hoos will eat those tires up, heat them up, and start to lose grip in it.
Can we go on board with Spees, the driver in the popcorn position right now? Looking at these two guys go side by side, I think this won't be long till the seas part, because I got a hunch Hoos and Young are going to get together, and Spees going to drive right through like Moses.
Aiden overdrove a little bit there, and he's going to cross. Look at that move.
Gypsy-Doo, the Hucklebuck.
Wow.
Played by Aiden Young. That was impressive. Woo! And now Young can set his sights on Kurt Smith. Let's go back to the number 8, another driver on the outside. Here he comes. This is Matthew Thunhorse. He's side by side with the rookie of Shattuck. I think he's going to get this done, and now he's trying to file Menda through. Menda have a good run. How about up 11 spots for Jason Menda on the 45?
Jason's having a good run here. There's a lot of good guys that are having some really solid runs here at the beginning of this race. My question is always, how are you using your stuff up, moving up there, or are you just getting the right opportunities at the right time?
Oh, right now, let's go ahead. Oh, look at this battle that we see this one. That's going to shake out okay. Let's go back up front. My spidey senses are tingling right now. It is Kurt Smith. On Smith, curter than a tighter. Oh, we got a yellow.
Oh, and it's Shattuck.
Shattuck goes around, and he was indeed on the inside of Thunhorse, but he was able to crank that wheel to the left and stay off of Matthew.
He caught the apron, and when you do that here, you lose all grip, and he went around, and he's actually he did a really good job of not nosing that car into the inside wall.
Nice job.
Yeah, right there's a lesson for all the drivers that come back and watch through this. That's what it means when you say lock it down. He locked that car down until it came to a complete stop before he started to roll, and that's what kept him out of that wall.
Boy, they go around the outside. Well done. Didn't slide up high to get the traffic going by up top. Didn't roll it down into the wall. This allows Kurt Smith to take a breath as he has led all of the 36 laps so far. But the fastest lap of the night, John, that belongs to the rookie, Aiden Young.
Yeah, and now here's the question I'm going to have. Aiden's going to be back on that outside row. And we saw last time he didn't quite get the start that he wanted, and it gave Hoos an opportunity. Now that Aiden showed his cars with that, definitely probably one of the best moves I've seen in this series, in a long while there. Made that move. Does Matt got anything for him here? If he can get to the inside, can he hold it a little longer and maybe take that second spot?
Let's quickly put the camera on car number 44. This is Jeffrey Harden. He is up, I'm counting as 11 positions to pair where he sorts out. Nice run from him along with Donnie Moore. We'll keep an eye on them as we go around. All right, pace car is in. They're side by side. Kurt Smith with a good jump. Now, last time we saw this happen, Matt Hoos tucked in here just like that, and they went side by side for several laps with Hoos on the inside and Young on the outside, and Smith trying to make the car wide. It's a replay of what we saw before. Deja vu all over again. Look at the drive from Young.
Like I said, he's just basically running the cushion. He doesn't care. Dirt or asphalt. See, there he does it. He did that crossover there, but this time he caught Kurt on his way down, and that kind of blunted his forward progress there. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Holy cow. Our leader just got wiped out by cars all wrecked, and Barney, the flag man, I think is asleep at the wheel up there.
I think it starts with the 10 that gets into Sagala, and then they all start piling in. If I'm looking at the right thing, the 70 gets in there, And then, John, are you saying that the yellow did not fly and the leaders came around?
No. Yeah, if you find Kurt Smith, yeah, this wreck actually started coming out of turn 2.
Oh, you're right. And then Kurt Smith
Yes.
comes in. I think that was Segala in the 81 that had been sideways since January.
I don't even know what Segala. I don't know what happened that threw him up in the track like that. Oh, Altice was turning down the track, clipped him, he pushed him in the man, oh man, oh man. And Steven Spies, who was running 4th, got so it took out 2 of the top 4 guys.
Now, usually I would talk about when you get in an accident, you got to keep your car still so guys can get around. Oh, look at this, and they crash. That's not Segala's fault. I mean, he's got to assume that the yellow has come out. Yeah.
No, that was. I don't even know. I don't think you can fault any of those guys. Who I fault with that, with the leaders and all that kind of good stuff, is that was an iRacing. The Barney the Flagman just held that flag. I don't know if, I don't know if he thought everybody was just going to make it to the pits and be clear, but and heck, the thing with Joe there that took out the leaders, that didn't happen to the last second. I mean,
indeed.
Man, oh man. But hey, we're going back to green here. We got a whole new front row.
My goodness. Put the hammer in the oven because the Camel has learned to read. I don't know what I just looked at, but we're going green right now. Aiden Young.
And
who saves it? No, but Menda couldn't avoid him. And Menda gets up on the wall.
Oh,
and it's yellow one more time.
Stacks a bunch of them up. Belky's around. Segala's around. You talked about the incident points.
Jason Menda having a great run, but he goes around. Getting out of it, Shinosky able to drive through that. Maybe we can take a look at it from his point of view. Belky involved in it.
Oh, that started with Goodman almost turned Matt. Matt didn't get loose there. He had some help, and then when he overcorrected, and wow.
Well, might want to take a look, just see what Shinosky has to do on this one. I saw him get that light blue, his petty light blue machine through there pretty clean. I'm not sure what kind of an angle he has, but let's take a peek. Oh, that's a lot of stuff happening in front of him. Nice job. Well, as long as replay Ryan Seneker's replay button continues to work, we'll keep on this race here. I've lost track of the yellows now. We have reached the halfway mark. We're going to be pushing a time limit here. Aiden Young is able to get to the outside now. This time, Michael Goodman is going to be in 14th. And, John, you want to take a look at who's racing in 3rd? Not really a big surprise, huh?
Yeah, and and we know he can drive. So when I say this, I don't mean, I'm not taking anything away from him being there, but he's there largely because he has missed the chaos. We know that he can drive up there without it, and it would have taken him from where he was probably a little bit longer than now in the race. But I bet you if we were to go back and follow him from the get-go, he's done a really, really good job of missing everything. And Donnie Moore is another one. I'd say any of these guys up front here. JR, remember JR that went to the back for that after that first incident or second
Indeed.
one? He's back up there.
Folks, we like to tell the story all the way through the race, but honestly, there are so many stories. You just kind of need to look at the tower and watch your favorite driver and see how they're doing, because there are so many incidents. It's hard to keep track of the progress of these guys. Good jump now from Young. Goodman tucks in. All right. Donnie Moore says, I've seen the top side work for other drivers. Let me see if I can make it work in the 21 up there. And I believe it is. Maybe the top side seems to be not as weak as usually we see at other racetracks.
Usually here, the races that I've been here, you can get that outside to work, and you can get it to work probably 5. We got another caution.
Oh, man, they're coming. This time it's the 79 of Adam Shane involved in this one, as he was 3 wide. And it was the 22, I think, was in there as well as 3 wide. Pearson was on the inside. Shattuck was the peanut butter in the sandwich. And
didn't I say it earlier? That they're about as tight as crescent rolls in a can. That's what happened. And that can popped.
And Shane got toasted. So, boy, I don't know. I'm gonna go to our director on this. Do we know on the time on this? Is there a way to actually see where the time actually is? Look what he can do. Okay, we got. There's, my goodness, we could stop, have a nice leisurely lunch, and still get this thing finished. Plenty of time. I guess one of the reasons is, John, these yellow flags, we're having a lot of them, but they're on a 4/10 of a mile track. It's a little different when we had a yellow fest at like USA, where a quarter of a mile, 3/4 of a mile track takes a little longer to get around.
Yes, absolutely. And man, I tell you, as a driver, especially those guys up in the top, you're not getting any rhythm, and that's tough because this is a rhythm track. I mean, you're dancing all the way around this track, going in, using your feet, using your hands. It's a coordinated ballet around here, and you got to have music, and the music keeps stopping here with these cautions, and then that's I just really think these guys need to give each other some room and get some laps in, and I think it'll clean up just once everybody gets into that rhythm.
Let's try to distribute some screen time to drivers that deserve it. Let's go to the 22 of Bruce Pearson, up 12 spots. Well done. It looks like iRacing is going to score him in 10th. He'll be starting at the outside of row 5, inside of the man we haven't talked much about, the 39 of Joe Snyder. Now, Snyder started in he's up 3 positions, so he's gained a few as he's racing there in 9th, started in 12th, I guess, if I can do the math. All right, we'll try this one more time. The rookie in control, the number 69, gets a good jump, but things are a little different this time behind him, because it's the Alliance Yellow Machine, the number 8 of Matthew Thunhorse. He's now in 2nd place, and look at the ASPCA machine of Donnie Moore in the white and yellow car on the inside. He's going to get in 3rd. Goodman cannot make the outside line work like other drivers have.
Yeah, that's a heck of a battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th there, with JR all the way up to Matt Hoos and Donnie Moore and then Goodman here.
Great racing as we ride on board with Lowell Jewell.
Another
sitting
caution.
3rd in the points. We got one more caution.
I see Steven Spies.
Spies involved in it. Pearson involved in it. Let's stay on Spies to the very end of this incident, and I don't know if this is a hardware issue or just a frustration issue going on here as we watch Spies.
Oh, no, he got turned into the wall early on the front stretch.
Yeah, Spies then puts the car in the inside wall.
That's a frustration. I know, Steven.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, he's had a hard night.
Yeah, he has.
Not a lot of it is doing. Let's see what happens here.
Well, and Steven's one that gets frustrated having a lot of cautions to begin with. So he was probably doubly irritated here.
Yeah, the 87 just kind of turned him to the outside wall. And then we'll stay on Spies here for a second because this is fun. Sometimes you just need to put the clubs in the bag and go home on the 11th hole.
Yep. And I think that's what Steven, he's definitely done that already. And we've got a lot of them that have already gone home. Looking here, Stephen Hilbert's put it on in the trailer. Adam Shane, Mike Gallen, Steven Spies. A lot of guys, a lot of attrition here tonight.
2/3 of the way through. Matt. Harden is gone. Matt, if they'll let Soup have a late entry, I may be able to get myself a top 10. Let me in, guys.
I tell you, it keeps like this, you might even knock on the door of a top 5.
Oh, Matthew Thunhorse up 15 positions. That's very nice. But how about a 17th spot for Donnie Moore in 3rd?
Yeah, we've got a lot of big movers. Shanowski's up, 10, 11 spots too.
Out there in that beautiful You called it, John. That is Petty Blue, the 94 of Shinoski. That's what that thing is out there.
Yep. We're going to line them up here. Pace lights are out, and see if we get some racing in.
Watch the Petty Blue car, the AP Performance Racing Machine of Matt Shinoski. Okay, now this is interesting. This time we have Thunhurst to the outside of the youngster Young. Let's see what the veteran can do. Good jump from Young. Now, if Thunhurst can keep Young pinned down to the inside, let's see if the 8 will roll around. Remember, though, Thunhurst had to come from way in the back to get up there, so I don't know how much he has left. The yellow and white car of Moore tucking a nose in there in third.
Yeah, I don't think Matthew has really used up his car. Like I said, I think it's just been wreck avoidance to get both he and Donnie Moore up there. Aiden, I think, has probably been running his car a little bit harder to get where he's at. So I'd say at the end of the day, things might be pretty even up front there.
Matt Hoos, our spotlighted over-under driver, right now winning the over, gonna get John another win, sitting in fourth. Good battle going on behind Lowell Jewell. And there he is back. I'll be darned. Tyler Shattuck is back after all the stuff that's been going on. He's got his car up into sixth. And from that position, with 25 more plus laps to go, anything could happen for the youngster.
Yeah, a couple cautions fall his way here between now and the end of the race. Next thing you know, he's knocking on a podium and maybe even trying to compete for a win.
Dropping like a pigeon is the 28 of Michael Goodman, stuck on the outside. Oh, he's back as well. How about Jason Menda, who was having a great run, then had it turn sour, and now he's back? There are comers and goers and comers and goers.
You're going to have that when you have multi-car wrecks several times. Makes it exciting, though. I'll give it that. And JR's to the inside of Shattuck now.
Racing to go behind. There he is, J.R. Shepard. On the inside. I think he's going to get that pass made. He does.
Oh, and Donnie Moore got really loose. He's losing several spots.
Was having a good run, but now he begins to fall. Oh, and Shepard gets up to him. Shepard goes in the wall. Menda collects him. Shattuck is involved. They keep piling in. Kurt Smith, our pole sitter, got caught up in it.
Yeah, Shattuck turned JR. He got into the back of JR pretty good there, and wow, that turned him up into Donnie.
Well, yeah, you kind of called it. Shattuck gave a little bit of a hello to J.R. Shepard, put him up into Moore, and then it was an octopus falling out of a tree. Things going everywhere. You can't tell what's what. The Dr. Pepper machine of Kevin Nunn, the 64, involved in it.
Yeah, you can't tap somebody there coming out of the corner. That'll happen almost every time. Going into the corner, coming out of the corner. You got to stay off guys' bumper. And, and it, like I said, it could be just a simple misjudgment there, but caused another multi-car wreck and took out our point leader.
Well, from what I've seen from Shattuck, he is fast, and I tried to put it as politely as I could about patience not being his strong suit. That's
yeah, and keep in mind, and this is something, I even had this conversation with Aiden when he got moved up. Is just remember, you don't know these guys, they don't know you. It's going to take you a couple of weeks to figure out how you race around guys, and Aiden knows all this stuff. He's been through this stuff before, and when you're around guys you're not familiar with, that kind of stuff is real easy to happen because you don't know, okay, hey, this guy usually lifts early into the corners, this guy usually overdrives corners, this guy likes to diamond corner. There's so many different ways to get around a racetrack. You've actually got to figure out how each guy does and race them accordingly. So it's so important that you just get laps with everybody, and when you don't have those, like I said, those are the little things that can happen there.
And in Tyler Shattuck's defense, he's got plenty of company of drivers who've made mistakes this race.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of blame that can be spread around through the 24 drivers that took the grid here for round number 8 of the Bootleg Racing Series late model series. Attrition really steep as we've lost 8 of the 24 cars that started. We have 16 running right now. Let's turn our attention up front. Good jump again from the youngster. Young gets in there. Now this time here, man, Hoos is back. It's Hoos this time with Thunhorse to the outside. Thunhorse would like to make quick work of Hoos so he can turn his attention up front to the 69. That's not going to happen. Hoos not giving it up, but now the Alliance number 8 is in there. Thunhorse Kentucky in the second. He's still got 16 laps to figure out how to get it done.
Yeah, the laps are winding down here, and they're nose to tail the first 4. But Donnie Moore, you always refer to the cork in the bottle, and man, Justin Morton, Donnie Moore have got a pack behind them too.
As we're looking at the racing up front, we'll keep an eye on that if anything breaks out. The action is back here for what would be 6th position. And we haven't heard much from Justin Morton, but Morton now gets that through, and he's going to tuck himself into, I believe, 5th spot. Working the outside is the 24 of Belkey. And, yeah, look, the 26 is really struggling, and even Michael Goodman trying to get the spot now. They are coming high side and low side on Donnie Moore.
Yeah, Donnie looks like he is definitely struggling. He's going to be trying to hang on here for about the next 13 laps.
Kind of looks like a roller derby event right now. We got a 4-car breakaway. Young, Thunhurst, Hoos, and Jewell. Now, if I'm Thunhurst, I'm thinking, okay, I still have a dozen laps to get this done. That's assuming we stay green, and there's no certainty that's going to happen the way things are going. Look at the 8 trying to figure out a way around.
Yeah, he's putting all kinds of pressure on him there on that 69 car, and then I tell you, he hasn't buckled. Aiden's really driving a nice race here and looking out his mirror. And Thunhorse gets into him there.
Thunder's
good
on him.
save.
On him.
Oh, Shinosky pulls out. Oh, good awareness not to keep going up.
Almost got him. They continue to race. Here comes Thunder's again. He's going to try to get his nose down to the inside. I think he's got it in there. Can he make it stick? Young leaves room. A very smart job of driving from the guy up front. Now they're side by side. Young likes the top side, John. I'm not so sure he's not unhappy to be up here.
Yeah, he's going to make Matthew Thunhorse really use his tires up late in the race here. They'll go quickly. If he can just hang on there maybe for 4 or 5 laps, maybe he can get that top to just to hold out long enough to steal on the win here.
The yellow flag hangs over both of these drivers like the sword of Damocles. Will the horsehair break and the yellow comes out and the iRacing will have to award the winner? Right now, if that were to happen, it would go to Matthew Thunhorse. Thunhorse has started the entire season from the back, took last week off, and now he's put it up front. He has driven all the way from 17th to 1st.
Aiden made one mistake, and Thunhorse capitalized. He got up a little bit, gave up Thunhorse that room to get his nose in there, and man, what a great race here. And I tell you, Matt Hoos is behind him, saying, no, guys, keep running that hard. Maybe another mistake can happen.
Coming through with 4 to go. We've reached the point of no return. I believe if a yellow were to come out now, the race stewards would let it stay yellow to the end, and Matthew Thunhurst would get his first win. An impressive job all season long, exemplified by what he did tonight.
Yeah, I think that little bump that Thunhorse gave him actually rattled Aiden enough to where I think that created that opening. Created that mistake by Aiden. But you'll live and learn, and Aiden's capable of doing the same thing, so we'll see how these guys race each other in the future.
Thunhorse must be part Italian boat because he is gondola, baby. He's got himself a comfortable 6-car length lead, working lap number 99. My goodness, we've talked a lot about charging the batteries. Well, he took off a week last week to charge his batteries, and man, he came in here fully loaded and ready to go. Working lap number 100. Out of the final corner, give round number 9, or number 8 here in the Bootleg Racing League's late model series to Matthew Thunhorse. The second consecutive bridesmaids finish for Aiden Young. Impressive, yet disappointing. And how about our over-under driver? Indeed, it is feast or famine. Well, Matt Hoos, yeah, he's going to eat well tonight. He's going to get a podium finish, John.
Yeah, good run for Matt and the boss man right behind him too. So really good runs. Austin Belkey recovered. All these guys, I think from Lowell on back, I think were wrecked at one point tonight. I'm looking. Michael Goodman, I know he got beat around. I don't know, maybe he didn't get wrecked, but I know he definitely got knocked around. But Belkey wrecked, Altice wrecked, Snyder. I think all those guys did at some point.
We'll take a quick break, then we'll come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome to you to the Chuckles. I'm in danger. 250 can possibly go to the outside. He does go to the outside of Ricky Harden. Tries a slide draft him. Harden goes up the track. Now back down to the bottom. Gets a huge push from Tommy Ryan at the start finish. It's going to be Thomas George.
Running the high line, trying to make that
got
pass.
loose off turn 4.
And the grass goes to the 6 car, and they were side by side, 2 by 2 here.
Scott Eckler winning the last race of the season and the championship.
Jeff Ford definitely getting the championship for season 2.
Give it up for Thomas George, winning the race and the championship. George overshoots the corner. Scott puts that car just where he needs to on the middle. It's going to be a drag race through the kick.
Welcome back to Southern National Motorsports Park and VGN's Round 8 coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model series. Well, I've taken an extra dose of my blood pressure medicine to help me calm down after that event. Woo, I don't know if it was a great race, but it was exciting. Let's run down the finishing order for you right now. He started in 17th. He worked his way through 16 drivers to get to the lead. Gave a little bit of a tap to the youngster, Aiden Young, to get that pass made. We're talking about Matthew Thunhurst, who gets his first win of the season. Aiden Young, another impressive performance as he's finished second for the second race in a row. Matt Hoos, boy, he had a great qualifying run, and he topped it off with a podium finish as well. Congratulations, third place to Hoos. Justin Morden had a fourth place spot, followed by Lowell Jewell rounding out the top 5. Michael Goodman, Austin Belkey, Ruben Altice, all up positions, with Joseph Snyder in 9th, rounding out your top 10, your pole sitter, Kurt Smith.
Coming home in 11th, and he's one of the few guys here tonight that did not have any incident points. What a great run. Started 24th, finished 11th. That is Kevin Nunn. Finishing 12th will be Todd Liston. Behind him will be Donnie Moore, then Matt Shanowski. Bruce Pearson will finish 15th with Joe Segala 16th. Tyler Shattuck, we saw him find some trouble here several times tonight. He will bring it home 17th. JR, who is one of those people that found Tyler's front bumper, he comes home 18th. 19th is Jason Mender. Rounding out your top 20 is Steven Spies.
And then hitting blackjack in the 21st position, Jeffrey Harden. Mike Allen in the double duck spot. He had to call it an early night, as did Adam Shane and Steve Hilbert, who had an unfortunate tap that took him around after a great qualifying run. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to our race winner. That would be Matthew Thunhurst in the number 8. Matthew, be honest with me. I know you're talented, but tonight's win, how much was luck? How much was skill?
Soup, I'm not sure I can calculate the math on that one tonight, because, I don't know, do we have a weatherman in chat? It seemed like the full moon, like we had a couple of them out tonight. It was just, oh, Lord. It was just craziness out there.
You brought your car home clean. You and Kevin Nunn, the only drivers to avoid incidents out there. And then you got behind the very quick rookie of Adden Young there, and you had to work him over a little bit to get that done.
Yeah, I was looking forward to trying to get a shot at him there, and just with all the cautions once I gotten up the second, and just was doing good enough on the outside, was really able to make it work, and was able to fend off whoever was at third, whether it was Goodman or Hoos, and finally got a long enough green run there, and he was just kind of overdriving the entry a little bit and just struggling off, and I was just able to get really good runs there. And one time I accidentally took it into his right rear, and had to let him back off, or I backed off and let him recoup it, and then just finally got a couple bites at the apple, and finally just got enough that I could get in there and try to work him over, and got it done, and it's pretty exciting. It took forever, but finally got a checkered flag, especially after I see, Justin over there being a little selfish and just taking all the checkered flags this season, it seems.
I'll let you out of here on this one. Help me, because we're going to come back to this track again. I want to understand it a little bit better. From a layman's, from just the commentator's booth here, it looked like the outside line was not really horrible. I mean, it seemed like you could make it work, kind of.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you were able to put your left sides on the line that separated kind of that bottom from the middle, and you just didn't overdrive the high side and just didn't push too much, I mean, as long as you can get overlap on somebody, and or you already had it off a restart or something, that outside was pretty snazzy tonight. So this is one of those places that, especially with how tight the center of the radius of the corner is, that as long as you don't overdrive it, you can really get some work done. And it's just one of those things that, especially when a guy on the inside overdrives or just pinned down there, they can get really tight and it just struggles to get a run while you're just up there high, wide, and handsome, just sitting there and being able to track out for what feels like a country mile out to the walls of this place. So it certainly is short in the length, but it's plenty wide out here. I know one time Justin decided to go 3 wide, and it was just like, oh no. It's like, well, it's plenty wide. It's like, yeah, we go 5 wide here. I just don't want to experience it, though.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you down the road.
Thanks, Soup.
Matthew Thunhorse, our winner tonight, as he climbs 16 positions to get it done. John, who you got?
Well, I've caught up with Adden Young. So far, he's 2 for 2 for 2. 2 runs, 2 seconds. Not bad here, Adden. Good way to get your BRL Invitational career off to a start.
Yeah, I don't know what else I could have done. Just came up a spot short.
Well, you had there was a lot of cautions tonight, and first, I guess, let me go all the way back to, I don't know, it was the 3rd or 4th caution. You're sitting there 3rd, and all of a sudden you watch the leader get wiped out. What went through your mind at that point?
Hit the brakes and hang on.
Well, you did that. You're able to navigate that. We had a lot of cautions, which is unusual here. How did that affect you in the car by, you keeping your focus and trying to get into a rhythm? How hard was that to do tonight?
It didn't really affect me too much. I was just trying to keep the lead and just keep the tires on it.
Well, you did it pretty good here, man. You came home with a 2nd place. Like I said, 2 nights, 2 races, 2 second places. So not a bad start to things here. And floor is yours. Who'd you want to give a shout out to?
I just got to thank Cool Ray, as always, for being on the car. Obviously, Gambling Motorsports, Simtrack Broadcaster for coming on board this season. Obviously, you guys for broadcasting.
Awesome, bud. Well, we hope to see you next week and see if you can get 1 spot higher on that podium.
Thank you.
Yep, that's Adden Young, our 2nd place finisher. And Soup, I think you caught up with our over-under driver. That's Matt Hoos.
I did indeed. Just to follow up on Adden, he's a nice young man, and I think maybe we might have ourselves a JR killer here on that one. He looks really quick. I can't wait to see what happens next season. Matt Hoos, you started yourself in good position. You were up front. Started in 4th. Started in 4th. Was able to stay up front for most of the race. Got a little bit of contact. Fell back a little bit. Got yourself a podium. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Soup. Looks like it was the right starting spot to be in tonight for sure. A little rough behind me, it looked like.
I agree. I think you were just far enough ahead that you probably had a lot of entertainment in your rearview mirror.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, it's a little disappointing when that happens. You know, you always want a lot of green flag racing, and for me, it's hard to get in a rhythm because I'm a rhythm driver. So these short little stints really work against me. But today, I got to start on the inside a lot, which helped out.
Let's talk about your season. John and I were looking at your results so far. There's some really great results, and man, there are a lot of really bad results. Is this just bad luck or some tracks that just doesn't work for you?
Well, kind of a little both. There was some tracks I struggle, but most of them really bad finishes are just I just get caught up in everything, and that's attributed to our qualifying format, which I love. I love taking the 4-lap average, but usually one of those laps I screw up and find myself towards the back.
Well, it was fun to watch you race tonight. Congratulations. And we're turning around this over-under prediction thing. We're starting to hit – drivers are starting to do well when we're calling them. So good job, man.
Hey, thank you.
That's Matt Hoos, our third-place finisher. John, I think maybe we've broken the jinx. We're doing okay.
Yeah, predictions are coming good, and man, I tell you, if the racing has been just fantastic the last couple weeks too. It's been really good to see it, and we're getting down to the end here. So I think the intensity is going to continue to kind of ratchet up a bit. You know, I know JR's walked out to a pretty good lead, but I tell you, there's still a lot on the line between second and all the way back to 10th.
You talk about intensity. Well, if you want some intensity in the kitchen, make sure that you go to Gargamel's Kitchen. They're a food-grade nitrous oxide provider located in Denver, Colorado, and a proud sponsor of the Bootleg Racing League. If it wasn't for them, we couldn't bring you these broadcasts. So do me a favor. Visit their office at 2045 South Valencia Street or give them a call at 720-707-6178. If you like what you saw tonight, well, it all happens again next Saturday, March 4th for round 9. Now, that's going to be from Hickory Motor Speedway. Now, just to clarify, it's going to be at 9 p.m., but in the movie Hoosiers, the team is Hickory, but they're from Indiana. Hickory Motor Speedway is indeed in North Carolina, so make sure you end up in the right state. But before then, on Tuesday, February 28th at 8:50 p.m., it's at Eastern time. That's, you know, if you're on the West Coast, it's later. Out here, if you're on the West, it'd be like, it'd be like 5:50 West Coast time. It's the Pretty Good Racing League Series, and they're going to be live from Auto Club Speedway. That's just down the hill from where I actually live right now. I may get out my binoculars and check in on them. You don't want to miss that. Again, that's Tuesday night, February 28th at 8:50. And those upcoming broadcasts, as well as the one that you just made your way through, are a production of the Virtual Grip Network. So keep this in mind. Until next time, here's what I want you to do. Have fun storming the castle.